this is your ring sling. This one is actually linen with a silk tail. This is what you're going to do with it. You're going to put it over your shoulder and see the rings. There's 2 rings here, kind of like those belts that you had in the 80s. You're going to take the fabric, slide it through. Now I'm putting this over my dominant shoulder because I want the baby on my non-dominant side so that I can still use my dominant arm. So I'm putting this over my right shoulder because I'm right-handed. Alright, see, I can still spread this out. I'm going to take it and I'm going to tuck it back through. Just like I said, like those belts you used in the 80s, I'm tucking it through 1 ring. It went through 2 rings to start with, now it's going back through 1 ring. And don't mind the tag, it's going to make it a little harder for me to use this, but this one is for sale, so it has a tag on it. Alright, I'm tucking this up, and I'm going to make it fairly snug so that it's going to go over my chest here. The linen is really light, so it's nice for summer or spring, because it gets lots of airflow, but it's still really strong, so it'll hold a larger child too. And the silk tail is just for fun because it's pretty. Okay, now, this is what you call your top rail, and this is what you call your bottom rail. You can tug each of them independently to make them tighter or looser over here. Alright, I'm going to take our monkey here, and I'm going to show you how to put a newborn in it. Unfortunately, I don't have a newborn handy, so this is our newborn today. Sock monkey. I'm going to put him up on my shoulder just like I'm burping a baby. Then I'm going to take my arm, slide it up underneath the sling, take his little legs, and excuse me if I'm handling the monkey a little roughly because he doesn't actually behave like a newborn. Slide him down into the sling. I'm going to tuck his little legs up just like a froggy. He's probably going to do that all by himself if he's a real newborn because he wants to be kind of tucked around you. Now I'm going to leave his head here on my chest. I'm going to tighten the top rail. Just find the edge and pull it snug until it's snug around him. He's all snug up against my body. Now if he's a real newborn, I'm going to make sure his little arms are tucked in, and he's probably going to turn his head to the side like this and lay it on me. That's okay. You want to make sure that his nose and mouth are clear so that he has plenty of airflow and he can breathe. You don't ever want his head tucked down like this because then you could get positional asphyxia, meaning he just can't breathe with his head like that. You want to make sure he's upright and close enough to kiss. And you want to make sure that he's in kind of a straight position. You don't want him curled up too much. You just want him curved around your body in a natural way, just like you're holding him. You pull this until it's snug around him and you feel like he's really supported. If you want, you can take this bottom rail and kind of tuck it up around his little feet and bottom, but it's not necessary as long as he's in there good and snug and he's not hanging out of the sling. As soon as you feel like you're really comfortable with how he is, you're now hands-free. You can keep your arm around him if you want, or if you feel uncomfortable with how he is for now. If you're going to pick something off the ground, you don't want to bend because you don't want the baby to fall out. You want to kind of squat with your hand on the baby, just like kind of like when you were pregnant if you're a female. If you're not, then like when you're